What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. Today, we are doing another mock draft, but this one is a little bit different. Something I haven't done in a long time, and it is a no-trade mock draft. So just to keep it not boring, keep it simple, keep it fun, we're doing 3 rounds just to test this out this week. If you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe. You know that jazz. We're closing on 2K, which is, woo, that's awesome, man. We're just barely hitting 1,900 right now, which is lovely. Love that. Again, goal by draft day, which is, I believe, like 74, 73 days, 3K. So let's get that going, guys. We post content every single day here. Plus, during this video, I will be announcing my new sponsor, but don't want to do that right now. I want to get you guys some good content. So let's start out with this because I haven't done a no-trade mock draft in probably like 5, 6 months. So let's have some fun. Let's kick into this. First pick, Jaguars. I mean, do we need to talk about this one? I mean, this is a pretty obvious one, guys. Trevor Lawrence, and I'm gonna be honest here. The next pick, arguably, is closer to Trevor Lawrence than the guy behind him. So just take that with a pinch of salt. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence. We don't need to talk about him. He's a stud. He's great. I've watched every throw that he's made. He doesn't surprise me with any throws. I will be honest. He has great ball placement. I'm gonna admit that he's a great quarterback, amazing blue chip prospect. Love him. But to be honest, he has deceptive speed, pretty damn slow acceleration. But I mean, he can get up there, and then he has some great arm talent. It just, I mean, he stares down his read, but I think it's just because he can make those throws. He'll obviously change that up at the next level. But dude, that's the only red flag I ever see on Trevor is maybe the injury because he's, I think, 210 at 6'6". He weighed in that way at his combine. But I mean, again, it's COVID. He hasn't been doing too much in the locker rooms anyways. I mean, in the weight rooms. But I think Trevor Lawrence could be perfectly fine in the NFL. We already know that he's going to be great. Next, Jets. This is where, again, this is stereotypically where the draft starts. So since we can't trade this pick, there is 2 routes that I will go. And it's the top 2 picks on the board right now. Penny Sewell is going to be a guy who you're going to have on your team for the next 10, 20 years. And he's going to be you could probably get like 3 first-round picks for Penny Sewell in the future. Zach Wilson, he's on another level. So the question is, what do the Jets want? Did Robert Saleh come in and was like, I think we have such a good pick, and I believe in this Zach Wilson kid. So I am going to come to this team, make it seem like Sam Darnold's complete butt cheeks, trade him away maybe for a second-round pick to the Colts or something, and then bring in Zach Wilson, and then it will be great. Because obviously this is a pretty damn good tackle class. If we're going to be honest, there's a pretty good tackle class along with guys like Orlando Brown who are trying to be getting traded away along with guys in free agency. It's a pretty good year for tackles for a team that needs tackles like the Chargers, the Jets getting right tackle to replace George Fant. These are all viable options. Zach Wilson should be the first pick in most drafts. He really should. We just have a lord, like we have a freaking angel sent to us by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, with his hair, he damn well doesn't look like freaking human at this point. But Zach Wilson, I watched every single throw, about 2 hours of tape, just watching every single throw and run he did this season. He might have better ball placement than Trevor Lawrence. I literally said this on my Twitter, links in the description. Of course, join the Discord as well. We're trying to build a good community there. I said that Zach Wilson in a clean pocket better than Tila. He has better progression system. He has a much weaker arm, but he has equivalent throw power. I can go into that more thoroughly in another video if you guys want. I could probably do it in tomorrow's video, but we're not going to waste your guys' time with this. Bottom line, I'm getting Zach Wilson here. He's going to be as good as the first quarterback next year, Sam Howell, and he has really good mobility. He had his shoulder repaired, which could be a red flag, but having a family and friends who have all gotten shoulder surgeries, they all say your shoulder's a lot better after it. So I'm not really worried too much about that. Zach Wilson came onto the scene, and I mean, watching every throw, he knows exactly where to put it, and that's awesome. I think honestly, we might be selecting Dax Milne potentially, maybe not round 3, but it's just like if the Jets get Zach Wilson, that's where you go. Carolina. I'm so used to Carolina being up here. Dolphins. At this spot, this is a pretty obvious pick to me. A lot of people say you got to go Devontae Smith, you got to go Jamar Chase. Dude, this wide receiver class is not that bad either. It's a pretty damn good class, and I'm telling you right now, all 3 of these guys are studs. Then you have your next tier of guys. You got Rashad Bateman in here. I would damn put Dwayne Eskridge up in that tier as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I've heard, is pretty damn good as well. So, I mean, that's probably the next tier. Then you go Terrace Marshall with Kadarius Toney and Rondale Moore, which are pretty much the exact same player in my eyes. And then obviously go from there. I think there's some really good value in the later rounds or at the next pick, regardless of what you want. You see, the thing is, you guys think that you need to move on from Tua, right? I get that. He did not look too good. He had some very good flashes, and we know how good he can be. But that didn't show on the field. It didn't show like he could be a winner. He looked like he's a game manager, but not a winner. And we all knew he'd be a pretty good game manager. We thought he could probably be Drew Brees level. But the dude had one of the best offensive lines, if not the best in the country. He had 4 first-round weapons as wide receivers, not to mention a possibly first-round running back. So when we look at that, we look at their line. All of them had below, I believe, 60 PFF grades across the board. It's like you want him to succeed. If you want any quarterback to succeed, you have to, unless you have magic with Fitzmagic, you got to get him a line, man. Penei Sewell, again, already talked about him. He's going to be your guy. He's going to be your Jonathan Ogden for the next 15, 20 years. You have him, who's already pretty much seasoned, can develop more too. And you have Austin Jackson, who's continuing to develop. And you have those as your premier tackles. I mean, hell, if Austin Jackson continues to develop into the guy who the first round pick was supposed to be, you're doing a pretty good job, man. Like there's no reason why you should not take Penei Sewell. Again, I was thinking about taking him here at 2, but we got to take him here at 3. This is similar to the way my drafts usually go, but I mean, I'm telling you guys, I love this order right here. Again, I could have even taken Penei at 2. You guys probably wouldn't have liked it too much because obviously, I mean, Penei and then Mekhi Becton would be the best tackle duo arguably in the NFL. But, we're going to stick with Zach Wilson because, again, I don't know if you're going to have the number 1 pick. So you don't know if you're going to get Sam Howell or else other guys in the draft. Next, we got the Falcons. Again, I don't think this team's going to be this high ever again. Falcons have a lot of talent, and it's just you got to put the pieces together. And if New Orleans loses Drew Brees, those are 2 games that could be victories that are usually losses or at least very competitive. So obviously you got that going on. Carolina in the division, I still don't believe in Teddy Bridgewater. He's a bridge quarterback. So that's potentially 4 games that you have automatically winning, that you guys are automatically winning. And I believe you guys won like 5 games or 4 games this year. So, I mean, to be honest, it's like you guys probably aren't going to be here. And you have time to develop a guy who I think has the highest ceiling in the class. If he speeds up his release a little bit, which again, we've seen with Josh Allen, we never really thought mechanics could be tweaked until Josh Allen really revamped his stuff. Justin Fields, he has all the ability in the world. He has a staring problem like Trevor Lawrence, but again, you sit down, you learn from Matt Ryan, who's very safe with the ball, former MVP. I think this is the right move. You have a new organization coming in. If you have Justin Fields sitting on your bench with Matt Ryan, who you already said, hey, we're probably going to move on from you, that means that you don't look like crap if Justin Fields is a bust because you won't know about it for another year, right? So, like, worst case scenario, Justin Fields, it's too good to pass up. I don't like more than 3 quarterbacks here. Again, I'm not a Trey Lance supporter. I'm not a Mac Jones fanboy. I think he's good, but I don't think he's that good. I think that this is the right setup here. Justin Fields has his best potential here in Atlanta, more than Carolina, right here in Atlanta. So I like it. Justin Fields is going back to Georgia, not too far from Athens. So obviously, hopefully he doesn't get to have to like transfer out of Georgia once again. But next with the Bengals. So obviously this is one where, I mean, I'm pretty obviously going Ja'Marr Chase here, but in the real draft, depending on how high the value is for Ja'Marr Chase, because there are guys like Rashawn Slater, there are guys like Christian Darrisaw, guys who I think that if you traded down, you could get a shit ton of value for basically getting like Ja'Marr Chase and pick swapping, and then be able to get a high-end talent similar to Penei Sewell. That's what I'm saying. But Ja'Marr Chase, dude, you can't deny the Joe Burrow Chase connection. And with this draft class, where it is arguably one of the deepest classes and off seasons in NFL history, I think you got to go with the super weapon, the man, the myth, the Ja'Marr Chase. He's wonderful. He's an amazing athlete. Don't be afraid of the fact that he has been like up and down in terms of the idea that like he was so high and then he didn't show up this year. He didn't show up this year because he had the number 1 quarterback in college leave. Like there's nothing wrong with Ja'Marr Chase. He just wanted to stick away because we all know who he is. He is a bad man. Obviously, he might not be as good as Justin Jefferson in the league because obviously they can play different roles. But He did play a lot better than Justin at LSU. So that's a huge thing. I think that Jamar Chase is an absolute stud. He has everything that you want. He's a beast. Take him. Just forget about it. Enjoy it. And you know what? I don't think there's not really a bust factor to Jamar Chase. What if he doesn't live up to be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL? That's probably his like bust range. Like this dude's an absolute stud. I don't get it. Next, Eagles. Again, you guys love Devontae Smith, and with Travis Fulgham there for another year, Alshon Jeffrey, I wouldn't mind it. However, A, the offense is a little bit of a controversy as it is, but B, your defense. I mean, dude, you guys gotta make sure your defense is good. You invested like what, 17 something million dollars a year into Darius Slay. You guys already know where I'm going with this pick as well. You guys, I mean, I'm down to these two guys right here. I know Kyle Pitts could be an interesting option. 100% support that idea. If you guys wanted to trade down a little bit and get Kyle Pitts for a team that, hey, I want to trade up, get Devontae Smith. If we're looking at a team similar to the Lions could just be like, hey, you want to pick swap, and then we'll get like Devontae Smith here because we know that you guys listen to offers, and then they can take a corner. 100% support that. But again, remember how good the Eagles defense used to be? They won the Super Bowl because their entire team was freaking stacked. And they're trying their hardest to be able to develop their corner core, right? You see that with Darius Slay there. So obviously, you guys kind of want to continue investing in that. If you're able to get Caleb Farley, who is insane athlete, Skip this year has had injury problems. That's the only reason why I don't have him above Patrick Surtain. Surtain is a little bit too slow in this division, in my opinion. If he goes up against a CeeDee Lamb, maybe he can compete. But if he goes up against an Amari Cooper, I think he's going to get torched. I think he needs to go to a team that, hey, you know what? We can kind of like chill here. We can sit, we can relax, and then we could probably take the speed. I don't know. I'm stuck between these two guys. Honestly, I'm starting to lean more towards Patrick Surtain because his speed isn't that bad. And in the division, Amari Cooper's going to be covered by Darius Slay. And if we're thinking about other guys, Scary Terry, he's going to be covered by Darius Slay. And then Darius Slayton will probably be covered by Darius Slay. So the more I talk, the more I convince myself. Again, I don't plan this stuff out, guys. It's not fun for you guys to hear me read off a script. The more I think about it, Patrick Surtain might be the guy. You look at him, he's young. He has the size. He has everything you need. Again, the Eagles, you have enough injury problems as it is. I'm debating like, oh, it could just be another guy. Like, might as well just say screw him to injury. But I mean, Patrick Surtain's a stud. He got beat on like one play by Trayvon Grimes because it was just an insane catch over the top that like he slipped for a second. Big deal. Honestly, I'm stuck with Patrick Surtain here. Amazing corner. I've heard tales of Jalen Ramsey for Patrick Surtain. I talked myself out of Surtain, but then I talked myself back into him. We're going to go Patrick Surtain here. He's so good. If you get either of these guys, take your pick of the litter, man. It's like, again, you don't have that big of a speed problem in this. I still think he's going to be running a low 4 or 5. Okay, it's not like I'm saying he's running high 4 5s. He could have been running 4 4s, but with the lack of speed in the division as it is, apart from wide receiver ones, I don't think honestly it's a bad idea. I think he could definitely maximize his potential here. And again, you guys probably want an offensive weapon. Check round 2, check round 3. It will happen. This is such a good wide receiver class too. This is just not a great corner class. Apart from the first 2 rounds, there's not really much out there. So just watch out because I think Patrick Surtain is going to be a stud. Okay, guys. Well, this is my first sponsor ever, and unfortunately, I'm not able to showcase the product yet because I was supposed to get it, but winter conditions have unfortunately limited my ability to be able to at least receive the product from my new sponsor, which is Manscaped. So obviously, I'm going to be doing a full talking point and everything as soon as I give you the product. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am now partnered with them. And over the next month, if we can get at least 10 uses with my code, which is down in the description, it's going to be code Hail Mary, all caps. And I'll probably overlay it over this video. Then we can get a long-term paid contract. It's going to be awesome. I love it, guys. I'm not going to be doing a full like product review or anything right now because obviously I don't have it in my hands, but of course it does start today. So I wanted to at least let you in on the scoop, and please hit me up. And then if you guys do ever purchase anything, take a quick video of it, send it to the Instagram, the Twitter, the Discord, do all that jazz, guys. I thank you guys so much for doing it. 20% off, have some fun, and then let's get back to the video. Speaking of another team that could use a corner, but is definitely not going to do that, it is the Lions. And I'm telling you right now, if you guys are able to get a couple offensive linemen and get a couple more weapons, you guys could be in competition with one of the best offenses in the league. You still have some really good weapons. You still have some good linemen there. And then Jared Goff, again, we've seen what he can do with a good offensive line. I'm not going offensive line here with Rashawn Slater. I am going with Devontae Smith. But again, you could go Jalen Waddle as well. You guys take your pick of the litter because, again, I don't like continuing to say that, but take your pick. And that's probably going to be the guy who you guys can go with. Both these guys are absolute studs. Again, only reason I'm choosing Devontae has shown that he can do it without other people's help. That's like without Jalen Waddle's help. Jalen Waddle has shown what he can do with 3 other first-round weapons, not to mention Najee Harris, and then 1 other. So he's still a stud. Don't get me wrong. I watched every play that he did this season. Wonderful athlete. Devontae Smith showed that he can ball out without a first-round talent around him besides Najee Harris. That's just my general opinion. So we're going to go Devontae Smith here. I love Devontae. Again, I don't think that him getting Heisman's going to give him a Madden superstar X factor, why he should be above Jalen. But again, both these guys are so good. You just take your pick. They're really, really good players. Next, we got the Panthers. So this is an interesting one. This is the first one where I'm like, ooh, where do I go? Because I normally trade up or trade down for a quarterback. So obviously this is an ideal destination for tackle, linebacker, quarterback, like all these needs. Again, I don't follow these needs. You guys teach me so much about it, and I love you guys for it. All these picks, all those needs, 100% valid. So I could be going Kyle Pitts here. He could be a true weapon, but again, you guys did have like 4 or 5 1,000-yard weapons last year. Like that's pretty good. Like Joe Brady's back for another year as well. I don't think you need to add more firepower to that team. Maybe you need to invest in the future, or else I think you just need to invest in the future rather than now. Because Teddy Bridgewater ain't going to take you anywhere. You give him Kyle Pitts, he's still not going to take you anywhere. I'm honestly an Ian Thomas fan, not like saying like he's great or anything, but I don't think it's like a need to replace him like Kyle Pitts. He should be going at this spot. I have a thought in my head that maybe the Panthers should trade down with a team that might want him. I assume if Evan Ingram's on the trade block, the Giants could trade up and get Kyle Pitts, and then they can get Trey Lance at that spot. That'd be great. But with this pick in mind, I'm stuck to Caleb Farley, because you guys can definitely develop that defense further. Rashawn Slater, if you guys want to build up either any position in the offensive line, or even Christian Darsaw or Micah. So the thing is, I think Matt Rule doesn't put up with bullshit. I think he's going to be an amazing leader. And I'm telling you guys right now, I love Micah. I love Micah so much. He does have some personality issues. It's 100% true. And it might be unrealistic for him to be going this high now. But you only need 1 team out of 32 to fall in love with him. 15 teams apparently said that they're not going to be drafting Micah in the first. That doesn't mean jack. That still means that there's 17 teams out there that'd be willing to send their pick towards it his way. You've seen him. He could be edge 1 in the class. Edge 1. Not to mention linebacker 1. I've seen the tape of this guy. He is on another planet. I am talking myself up for Micah Parsons because that is going to be the pick. I don't think a tackle's pick like Christian Darsaw is worth it here. Darsaw to me is top 13. I don't know if a top 10 pick is really going to be warranted for this. With how deep the class is, I think a 3rd-round tackle, like you can even say Walker Little, is going to be really good value. I know, Greg Little, Walker Little. We're going to draft all the Littles to the Sam squad. But, I mean, Micah Parsons, you don't find, I'm saying this right now, out of the 2nd round, you can't find good linebacker or cornerback depth. You can go right here, Micah Parsons. JOK to me is a safety or slot. I don't really vibe with him as a pure linebacker. But, like, if you cut it off here, like, Jabril Cox should probably be going in the 2nd round. I don't think that I don't think there's anybody who's worth potentially starting in the NFL. I mean, you could talk about Corny Dang as well. That's a guy who I'm a huge fan of, but he's all the way down here. It's like he just is all potential. With Micah Parsons, we know who he is. We know who he is. He has personality issues, but Matt Rule is probably the best guy to deal with that. You know, I love Matt Rule's personality in this. I think he's going to be really geared up to be able to have Micah Parsons on his team. And hell, him and Brian Burns just like going at it on blitz packages and stuff. Shoot. I'm sorry if you guys don't like and think this is too early. For the talent, I was thinking about taking him at 3. Pure talent-wise, if Penny was taken at 2, I would think about taking Micah at 3. That's my general opinion, genuine opinion. But Micah Parsons at 8. I love the pick. Next, you guys already know where I'm going with this. Caleb Farley to the Broncos. You know, you need to add some extra youth in that corner core. having, of course, Bryce Callahan there, as well as AJ Boye. AJ Boye, honestly, isn't as old as I thought he was, but man, he sure as hell is starting to look a little bit more washed up. He's not the Jalen Ramsey's dynamic duo partner that we saw in Jacksonville. But, dude, getting Caleb Farley there, you have Callahan in the slot. Oje Mudiay isn't that bad, but you can have him on the outside as well. Dude, Caleb Farley can learn from some pretty good guys. Again, AJ Boye learned a lot from Jalen Ramsey, and Caleb Farley can turn into Jalen Ramsey if you want him to. He is so fast, too. He's going to be probably running in the low 4.3s, and he's a great press corner. Again, you could toss it up right here and here. I think both of these are best scheme fits because, again, Eagles, I don't think you want to bust on another pick. With your first head coach, usually they are more safe. So getting Patrick Surtain's the more safe bet. If you get Caleb Farley, I mean, dude, Vic Fangio's going to love this shit. He's going to, like, eat it up for breakfast. So I'm going to go that route. Again, Micah Parsons, that's something that you guys can debate all you want. But you guys already know where I'm going for the Cowboys, too. Dude, you guys have 4 cornerbacks coming off roster. And, dude, to be honest, like, your entire defense was picked apart last year, especially in the pass game. That's why Dak Prescott was on pace to, like, put 6,000 yards up for the season before he got injured, of course. You guys have to go corner. And you guys are a man cover scheme. You look at the Alabama cornerback, of course, Trayvon Diggs. I would love to have Patrick Surtain fall to this spot. Not going to happen. I would love, again, we could have went Kyle Pitts there, and probably he'd be here. J.C. Horn, son of Joe Horn, has great traits. He is an amazing man corner. Again, in general, maybe he should be around 20. But for a man coverage team, he is easily, possibly cornerback 2. Like, it depends on your worry about injuries for Caleb Farley. J.C. Horn's a stud, man. Asante Samuel Jr., another stud. But again, without trades, we cannot just be like, oh, we're going to wait for somebody in the second round. You're not going to wait for Tyson Campbell in the second round. For a team like the Cardinals that probably could, okay. A team like the Niners that probably will, okay. But for a team like the Cowboys, you have no shot. You have no shot at being it. Like, why would you give up J.C. Horn for a guy like, well, Asante Samuel Jr. is going to be going, but for a guy like Tyson Campbell, who I'm a fan of, but you need something guaranteed. And J.C. Horn is a guaranteed stud. So get him right here. You guys will probably think it's too high. I know my fans don't because we all know that J.C. Horn is a stud. But hell, it's a great pick and a great fit as well. Him and Trayvon Diggs are going to be a really dynamic duo. Giants, I mean, I used to always go defense for you guys, but Jalen Waddle's still on the board. We can't let him go any further. Usually he has gone by 8 for me because I do love trading back with the Jets and taking him there. But Jalen Waddle is an absolute weapon. If you're able to use him, like, again, I like the idea of having a true speedster on the squad. You have a deep threat. Now you also have route runners. Jalen Waddle is going to be your after the catch threat. He's dangerous. Again, this is kind of testing out to see if Daniel Jones is worth it. I think by the time you're testing out whether he's worth it, he's not worth it. And this is just preparing for the next guy. You have a solid offensive line when they're all healthy, when they're all there. You know, if you're able to have a full wide receiver core along with Saquon Barkley, you're going to be chilling. So get Jalen Waddle there. Have some fun. It's going to be fun to watch New York Giants as well. Seeing him go up against his old buddy Patrick Surtain is going to be fun too. So just have some fun. Watch it. Enjoy it. Niners. We already know where I'm going with this pick too. You know, I would love to go corner, but hell, we've already seen 3 guys already taken out the board. You don't want to get corner 4 at this point. And Asante Samuel Jr. For you guys who are Eric Stokes fans, pure zone corner. Did a full in-depth report on him. You guys could, of course, ask me for that, and I'll put it down in the description. But you already know where I'm going. You guys need both positions on the interior of the offensive line. We don't even know if Trent Williams is coming back. You know someone who could fit every single one of those positions and probably in an extremely high level? Rashawn Slater. So right now it is a guard pick. This is just a pure guard pick at this point, or a center pick. Could be replacing Weston Richburg. But Rashawn Slater, I mean, dude, this guy's talent's through the roof. You don't even want, like, I've seen him play. He is dangerous when he plays. I like him almost more than Darsaw. Darsaw is just more potential-wise, and he has a shit ton of experience too. And he didn't skip this last year, so we know who he is. Dude, Rashawn Slater's a stud. I know you guys actually are starting to warm up to this idea, so I'm very happy that United fans are understanding this. But, dude, if you have him at guard, center, or left tackle, he is going to be a stud for you. I'm a little bit worried at left tackle because he does have some length issues, but you do definitely need something on the interior of the offensive line. And if you guys keep Jimmy G, you guys know how much he gets hurt. You guys know how injury prone your entire squad is. Getting Rashawn Slater here, you guys might want a quarterback, understand that. But dude, you put Trey Lance in this scheme, Mac Jones, without an offensive line, like, what is the point? You're wasting their talent. It is your fault that they will suck. So don't do that. Be a good guy. Get Rashawn Slater here. Be able to benefit your quarterback, your running back. It benefits your entire team. What's the problem with it? There's nothing. So I love Rashawn Slater here. Again, not going to get freaking wide cornerback 4. Get guard / tackle 1/2. So next we got the Chargers. You guys already know where I'm going with this too. Christian Darsaw, again, I love this guy. Samuel Cosme is also beast. Don't get me wrong. He's good in the run and the pass game, but Darsaw is just pure potential. You have a young guy like Herbert, Christian Darsaw. He already is super high level with even more potential. That's what I love about him. I watched every snap that he did. I did a full in-depth report on him, I think, 2 days ago? So, I mean, he is a beast, an absolute beast. I mean, I see this guy, if you're able to use him in a zone run scheme, which this team can definitely do, then you are going to see holes open up and you are going to be able to see just like pounding that rock. Christian Darsaw has athleticism. Maybe he's not the fastest dude in the world, but dude, when you see him on the move, he has insane power at contact. Like, he just destroys people. Maybe not Quentin Nelson. He's not going to do 20 billion pancakes a game. But when you see this guy block, it is insane. And dude, the only time I've ever seen him get beat is by this one graduate guy, and I think his name was something Joseph. Started with a G, and it was like number 99 on North Carolina State, and it was just a hand technician. He fought his hands down and then beat him in the coverage and beat him on the snap. But that was like 2 snaps out of, I think, probably like 100 that I saw. Christian Darsaw is very well balanced, and I love that about him a lot. It shows a lot to who he is. And I'm telling you, this Chargers team, we've already seen Justin Herbert get under pressure so much that he's already used to it. Worst case scenario, if Darsaw isn't the best pass protector, you're going to be able to run the ball a shit ton too. They're going to start stacking the box, and then that's going to allow Herbert to have more opportunities to pick guys apart on the outside. I love this idea of Christian Darsaw. His potential is almost on Penny Sewell level. So love it. I love this pick so much. Vikings. So this is down to basically 2 spots for me. All right. We can go AVT here because Wyatt Davis, he's been falling a bit because he is raw. Creed Humphrey as well. I like Creed Humphrey, but AVT has that guard tackle versatility. I think he is a true guard in the NFL, but that is just from my buddy Mason's scouting report. I haven't done too much scouting myself apart from watching him play in the Pac-12 championship where he faced my high school teammate, Kayvon Thibodeau. But we either have to go there or we have to go edge. And to me, it's like we could go Quiddy on this spot, but given the value of probably the next round where we could get Boogie Basham. Well, actually, we only have a 3rd round pick. So with that said, we could get Patrick Jones in the 3rd. I think the jump from Quiddy to Patrick is probably going to be, honestly, it probably will be less than AVT jumping down to Ben Cleveland even. But still, I mean, to me, you guys already know I'm going to be going offensive line heavy because I love offensive line. I think you guys do breathe like pure run game. So getting AVT, being able to keep him at tackle or guard is going to offer a lot of value. I don't like the idea of having AVT set this high. Again, you guys know me. I like to trade down, but it is the best pick. Again, it is the best pick. You can get some really good edge value later on, and you guys can just like. There's also edges in free agency as well. You got to make sure you got to continue living to your mojo, and that's the run game. You guys have Dalvin Cook there. You guys have Alexander Madison there, and you guys do like to do some play action with Kirk Cousins. And hell, if you can get Elijah Vera Tucker in there, that's going to be wonderful. I love AVT. I've been loving him since before the draft process. Watch my first videos. I've been saying, dude, AVT's a stud. He should be up here in these higher rounds. And luckily, that turned out to be a thing. So next, Pats. Again, I hate this idea that he keeps falling this far, but Kyle Pitts is here. I mean, can we give up? Honestly, I could see if there. I've heard this actually as a rumor. There could be a pick swap of the Chargers and the Ravens to be able to get Orlando Brown over to the Chargers. Love that idea, by the way. But Kyle Pitts could be going to there if they're able to secure a free agency left tackle. That's all I'm saying. Kyle Pitts could be going at 13, could be going at 8 if like Joe Brady's like, dude, give me another weapon. Sure. But I think that this is the best. This is probably the best spot. This is the latest spot. That's what I mean for him to go. That's all I'm going to say right now. Kyle Pitts is a beast. Do we need to talk about it? He could be wide receiver 2 in this draft class. Like he's scary good. And you know what? Honestly, Pat's pop some damn champagne. Because again, I don't plan this out. He does fall. He always falls. I hate it because I do think he's like a top 3, top 4 talent. But again, it is a tight end. We don't know if he can actually play wide receiver at the NFL level, at a level that we're seeing him play in college. And you can't project him when he hasn't played true wide receiver all the damn time. We have seen it, and he looks really good at it. But again, he's just project him as a tight end for now and be able to use him probably as a slot, big slot. It's like just do that. Now Cardinals, we already know what you got to do. You got to go corner. You got to go corner here. And Asante Samuel Jr. is the best man corner left on the board, and I think he's worth a first round pick. You guys might not like it, and that's understandable, but he's an absolute beast. Pairing him up with Byron Murphy, I think both these guys are going to light the league up. It's a really good combo. So I'm going to be rocking with Asante Samuel Jr. here. You can thank that franchise guy for putting me onto Asante Samuel Jr. to the Cards because I realized I really like it. You know, if you're able to get maybe one large corner there, maybe Israel Mukuwamu. If you really want to go balls to the wall, go 2 corners, Israel Mukuwamu in the third, and get a large corner as well as a smaller corner on the boundary. Wonderful. Would love that. I would honestly love that pairing a lot, along with Byron Murphy in the slot. You could have a really, really good retooled secondary just within 1 year. Next, Raiders, we already know we got to go some edge here. Kwity Paye, Joseph Asai, whichever one you want to go. Again, I think that based on the fact they like Max Crosby, I'm going to be probably rocking with Kwity Paye, who's probably more of a 4-3 D end. Joseph Asai is a beast as well, but I think we got to go Kwity Paye for scheme fit. I'm starting to learn scheme fits a bit more, and that's something I'm really trying to integrate into this. Totally forgot about the Jets getting Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator, so he's going to be 4-3 as well. Because you guys know I would love the idea if they're going 3-4 to go Azeez Ojulari there, but didn't happen. So next we got the Dolphins again. So Dolphins, you guys already know where I'm going with this pick as well. You guys who are fans here, this does seem pretty damn repetitive, but it is again, there's not really much changing here without trades, but you guys could look at JOK and be like, damn, could you imagine him in a Flores system? Hell yeah. But I think of him as a slot corner, maybe a safety. That's not what this team needs. They need a true linebacker. Zaven Collins, to me, if you're able to get his personality in check, this dude could be the best linebacker in the class. So you have 2 guys at the top, in my opinion. I have Parsons and Collins. Then we can go JOK, Bolton, Moses. Maybe we might put Chaz Surratt there at 5. But Zaven Collins, look at him. You can look at his size, 6'4", 260. This dude moves really well. And I don't know why the hell I clicked on Dylan Moses. But this dude moves really well. And he has the best coverage skills I've ever seen out of a linebacker. Hands down. Best coverage skills ever. This dude has some great feel. And, dude, if you're able to use this guy in basically have, like, man on the outside, zone in the middle, it's game over. It's game over. Zaven Collins is great in the run game as well. Has shown some really good pass rush flashes as well. Had some hard time giving that one out. But if you're able to use him even in the pass rush game, because I know you guys are losing some edge players, that would be so crucial. That'd be so crucial. I would love that so much. Washington, again, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Again, you guys are a quarterback. Okay. This didn't get as easy as I thought it did, because the more I think about it, you guys do need a second weapon. And you also do need a quarterback. Again, you guys know my idea. Quarterback, second weapon, maybe an extra linebacker now. You can get some extra cornerback depth as well. You're in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to be definitely on that train. This offensive tackle thing, this is just some BS. Straight up BS. You guys have some good depth there with Sadiq Charles. You guys have a full offensive line that's perfectly fine as long as you can bring back, of course, Brandon Scherf. If he returns, it's going to be wonderful. I think this draft is going to be super critical for it. Totally forgot about the idea that Trey Lance is on the board. He could even go here to the Raiders if they wanted to. Yeah, basically Marcus Mariota 2.0. I didn't even know Trey Lance was on the board. So obviously, usually he's traded up for by now. We're able to select him. But hell, this is a spot where it's like you can't really go wrong with Trey Lance. It's down to him or else Mac Jones here. And where do we go? Because Trey Lance could have some really good fun in this scheme because he has a fully built offensive line. But Mac Jones, this is going to be interesting because who goes first, Trey or Mac? Trey Lance has thrown, that was my mistake on the last time, he has thrown 208 completions, 134 runs. So it's not realistic. He's pretty much done a 2-to-1 pass to run ratio, and that's not very realistic in the NFL. So, this is interesting because Mac Jones in the squad, he has a great offensive line. He has he can get a solid weapon on the outside and the inside as well. You have a great running back as well. I think that could be the best case scenario. Trey Lance would be fun. I mean, damn, we already know Rivera turned Cam Newton into MVP, I believe. So that would be this is a really tough pick, guys. Take your pick between these two guys. Like it is tough, 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 man. I'm telling you, this is a hard pick for me. Just thinking about it right now, this is a hard pick. I think you gotta go the upside though. There's no guarantee that this team will actually make it into the playoffs. We just knew that Alex Smith could play a good enough game manager. Trey Lance, as long as he can use his legs, imagine him in like kind of a scheme, like a power option with Antonio Gibson. That'd be quite fun. So I'm honestly gonna rock Trey Lance here, but dude, it's neck and neck between these two guys. I have Mac Jones actually ahead of Trey Lance in actual day one impact easily by like a mile. But dude, Trey Lance, if Rivera wasn't there, I would definitely go Mac Jones. But Rivera knows how to use these guys. So I'm going to say best case scenario, Rivera's there, go this route. Bears, this is an interesting one. To be honest, I don't think the Bears are built for Mac Jones. Not at all. Not a chance. Your offensive line, you do need some more pieces there. I know you guys like that Notre Dame, I think, guard that they drafted last year, along with, of course, James Daniels, Cody Whitehair. And they do have some solid tackles, I believe, Leno and Massey. But I'm pretty sure one of those guys, A, might be gone, but two, they didn't play very well last year. So I am 100% on, hey, let's draft some offensive lineman train. And let's look at Samuel Cosmi right here. Jalen Mayfield could be a guard. So we're going to go Cosmi here. Again, I'm starting to get off the Jalen Mayfield hype train where like I have him above Cosmi, but dude, Samuel Cosmi is great in the run and pass game. The Bears used to like have their pure identity on basically running Matt Forte and then taking shots to Brandon Marshall as well as Alshon Jeffrey. Start building that again. You definitely can. This team needs to retool and then just get back at it next year. It's like this year is not their year. Bears fans, I hate to hurt you guys with that, but this ain't your year. Next, Colts, like, oh, this is gonna be rough because honestly, I can see Dylan Radunz falling. And then we of course have all these guys. Oh, Deontay Smith's back. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. This is something that's huge for me. I tweeted at TDN to finally put these guys back into like the whole entire game plan. And because they didn't have these like critical dudes, like Deontay Smith probably gonna be a day 2 pick. Guys, I might put Deontay Smith to the Colts. Not here, but I think we got to go quarterback, guys. I'm not going to project any trades here because Carson Wentz is probably going to be going to the Colts. Under that situation, again, I will be doing a new mock draft as soon as Carson Wentz gets traded, which it doesn't sound like it's going to be anytime soon because the Colts offered a pretty big package and they said no. So to me, Mac Jones, get him now, possibly get a free agency tackle because they do have the cap for it. So I'm not going to, again, this is without projecting any trades. If they're just going to be the way they are now, we're going to be going Mac Jones out of Alabama. Don't really like it too much because, again, I think they are going to get a quarterback. So for me, I would take a tackle there. But I think that there's good value later on. So we could definitely be okay with the idea that Mac Jones is on the squad. Again, Samuel Cosmi's not there. If he were there, I'd probably go that over Mac Jones. But he's not. Next, you guys already also know where I'm going to go with the Titans. We got Joseph Asai and Azeez Ojulari, two very similar players. Joseph Asai a little bit more polished in my opinion. I've been on the Asai train for a very long time. Very long time. Since the moment I saw him, I love this dude. So we're going to be 100% going this route. He's very similar to Harold Landry, right? He's pretty much what they're looking for. So if you're able to get Harold Landry, pairing with Harold Landry, that's going to be awesome. I think that speed explosiveness combo is going to be very dangerous. So rock with that, have some fun, enjoy it, and kick some ass. So Jets, you guys are going to be like, ooh, we got some good weapons here. So you got Denzel Mims, really fast. He's going to be an interesting weapon. I comped him to a pretty much Walmart version of Julio Jones. Rashad Bateman could be your true weapon on the outside. He's a really good route running technician. So if you have a guy like, of course, Zach Wilson on your squad, then you're going to be able to have a guy like Rashad Bateman who's going to be able to get open, So it allows Zach Wilson to be able to put the ball in a good spot without having defenders just pretty much chewing on his wide receiver, as well as the fact that, hey, he's good at the jump ball too. So I think Rashad Bateman's a really talented guy. He pretty much made Tanner Morgan look good. So we're going to be going Rashad Bateman here. I don't think he falls past this point. People are saying he's going to be falling into the second. I think that's complete BS. I love Rashad Bateman so much. Just at this spot, I wasn't a fanboy of him being here in the top 10. Like some people were starting to say, he deserves to be here. He deserves to be here. I've been hearing like that he could be the next Justin Jefferson. Don't know about that, but hell, he could be a less athletic Justin Jefferson 100%. Steelers, we already know where we got to go on this one too. We lost Pouncey. We're probably going to lose Villanueva. We got to go tackle in some way, shape, or form. So it's down to Tevin Jenkins, Jalen Mayfield, and Eichenberg for me, 100%. Dylan Redunz is another sneaker candidate here. But looking at it, Jalen Mayfield, if you want to look at him, I want to make sure that he doesn't have any, so it says that he should be a starting tackle and then a high ceiling guard, because I haven't done too much deep study on Jalen Mayfield. I don't think the Steelers are the right spot for the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to win anything anytime soon. I think we need to build for the future. Jalen Mayfield is 2 years younger than Tevin Jenkins, as well as Liam Eichenberg, I believe. So with that being said, invest in your future, guys. He could play guard as well, because we don't know what the hell DeCastro's future is either, especially with cap hits and everything. Jalen Mayfield is going to be either a high-end guard or a starting left tackle. And this is a team that has time to develop, and the Steelers can develop linemen pretty damn well. We've seen it. Filer's gone as well. So we need to get Jalen Mayfield in the squad. Hell, he could take over for Chakuma Okorafor if we want him to. So Jalen Mayfield needs to be a piece on this team. Again, Michigan loves to run the ball. My buddy Zach Charbonnet just transferred out of Michigan, but he went there because they know how to run the ball. And Jalen Mayfield was a stud. I got to study him a little bit more though. So this is kind of like a pending idea of Jalen Mayfield being a stud. We already know he has all the talent in the world though. Next, we got the Jaguars. Jaguars had you guys need to get some extra help here. It's down to that, or else we can get a corner. But I'm telling you right now, that you can't really do too much. I'm not going to get Tyson Campbell in the first. If Asante Samuel were here, I'd be fine doing that. But it's not the case. We got to go tackle. Tevin Jenkins had like a 92 PFF grade this year, and he works in a hard run power scheme. And I'm telling you right now, if you're able to have a guy like James Robinson powering down that front, Tevin Jenkins is going to be the best guy on the board. Liam Eichenberg, another great guy. But, both of these guys, really talented guys, don't let up sacks at all. I'm going to go Tevin Jenkins here just for fun. He is older, but you can sometimes take a guy. Also, he's going to have a birthday soon, so happy future birthday to you, Tevin. But, he deserves to be a first-round pick. Really talented dude. He's going to be – if the Steelers really want to win now and they feel like they really could, they go Tevin Jenkins. But with the cap issues, everything, I think you got to invest in the future. But Jalen Mayfield, Tevin Jenkins, got to be these two picks right here. Next, Browns, this is an interesting idea here. I'm looking at JOK because they need a slot cornerback. They need to get some extra linebacker help. And they could honestly use a safety. That's all JOK because he did play more snaps at slot corner than at linebacker. And then obviously he played some D-line. So I'm down to that or an edge player. And to me, Gregory Rousseau would be an interesting project. I mean, hell, him next to Myles Garrett, that would be quite a pairing. So I'm kind of like, I'm on limbo right here because you know me, I don't hate JOK at all. I think he could go number 9 to the Broncos, or they could trade back and get him if the cornerback that they want is not there. But shoot, it's obvious that they need some extra pass rush because I believe they're going to be losing Olivier Vernon soon. Ooh, this is a tough one. I think we got to go Boogie Basham in the second like we normally do. JOK is going to be the pick here. Get him. He could play any position that you want. You could even have him as a linebacker, but he could really play a true rover role in this Browns defense. Kevin Stefanski knows what he's doing. This is a spot. So now Ravens, we gotta take an idea. We gotta just sit back, relax, and think of some things. So obviously you could be losing Orlando Brown because I don't think you guys could pay him and Lamar Jackson in the same year, especially when you're losing $30 million in the cap space. I'm starting to like this idea of getting a guard for them because Marshall Yonda meant so much. And again, you guys love to run that ball. You guys love to run the ball. Ronnie Stanley, I believe he just made him the highest paid tackle in the NFL. And, I mean, you guys have to make sure that your offensive line is good if you're paying all these guys and there's holes everywhere. So, with that being said, I like to give you guys a large weapon, but shoot, it's down to Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey for me. Matt Skura could probably be gone eventually, and Creed Humphrey can kick into center. I love his versatility. I love Creed Humphrey so much. Dude, I hate stealing him away from like the Dolphins here. I love giving him to the Dolphins, but you know what? It shows that I don't have bias. Creed Humphrey's gonna be the pick for me. I think we can get a larger weapon like a Seth Williams later on to get some extra big targets. Creed Humphrey got to be the pick for me. He looks so good in the Senior Bowl, man. He is aggressive. He is mean. He's going to be good in the run game. I mean, you guys have seen the mass amount of running backs that look good in that Oklahoma offense. Might also be Lincoln Riley, but Creed Humphrey is great. Hell, if you're able to bring in Creed Humphrey, it might be like Orlando Brown might be like, you know what? I got another Oklahoma boy here. We can rock. So let's kick some ass. Next, Saints. We got to look at, we can look at the corners for you guys, but you guys are more man-based. We could go Aaron Robinson, to be honest. That wouldn't be a bad pick. I'm not a huge fan of it. But you guys already know I want to go a secondary weapon. And to me, it's Terrace Marshall Jr. or Kadarius Toney. So Terrace Marshall Jr., he's going to be your larger, younger threat, right? Obviously, I believe it's just like a year that separates these guys apart, so it's not that big of a deal. But Terrace Marshall has shown some flashes of being a potential number one. Kadarius Toney has shown flashes of being a potential weapon. That's something you guys have to take into account. With the idea that like Jameis Winston might be the quarterback next semester. I sound like a damn kid in college. I am. But I think you want to give him something to check down to. You have Kamara, but you might want something that he can check down to reduce the amount of picks he throws. I like Kadarius Toney here. So I'm going to be sticking to it. I'm going to be sticking to Kadarius Toney at this spot. I really like this idea, just being able to check down the ball and just have him run around, have some fun. Kadarius Toney's a beast, and we got to go that route. Next, Packers. We might have to go Terrace Marshall here because cornerback, again, you guys are a man scheme. If you guys want to go for Aaron Robinson or Tyson Campbell here, be my guest. Ifatu Melifonwu, be my guest. I think you could get even good value with Israel Mukuamu, Keith Taylor, Trill Williams later on to where you don't have to do this. Rodarius Williams, I don't think it's the right pick to go corner here. You're down to Terrace Marshall Jr. and Nick Bolton. We saw that the Green Bay Packers had the 30th best run defense in the league last year, especially during this season. You guys need to get a good run defender. In the linebacker core, you have some I heard you have two young rookie linebackers. It's pretty obvious it ain't that great. It's pretty obvious that they're not able to stuff the run in the way that the Packers need to. You need to give Aaron Rodgers more chances with the ball. He's a beast. He's that man. So I think with the weapons, you have Lazard and stuff there, you're really bereft of talent at linebacker at this moment. And you got to go Nick Bolton, man. There's such a huge drop after him, and the wide receivers are pretty deep to where you can do this. Wide receivers and corners, pretty deep. Linebackers, not so much. Got to go Nick Bolton here. You guys have liked this pick in the past. I'm sticking to it. So let's rock it. Next, Bills. I might still go Eric Stokes here. This might be a little bit too wishy-washy, similar to my other drafts. So we might change it up here. Eric Stokes is a beast, but we could go, of course, guys like Paulson Adebo in the second, stuff like that. So for me, I'm going to be looking more in this offensive tackle realm. Liam Eichenberg's still on the board, man. Might have to go that route. Could look at edge as well. Get a guy like Gregory Rousseau who has a shit ton of talent, man. Hell, if he's able to replace Jerry Hughes, dude, that's going to be quite insane. You can get Jerry Hughes as replacement. I like Jalen Phillips. I have him above Gregory Rousseau in day one impact, but Jalen Phillips almost quit football for concussions. That scares the living daylights out of me. So I think that he might want to go to a team that could win right now. That is kind of a hint, rather than a team that wants him for the long haul. The Bills can win right now, but they are built for the long haul as well. Gregory Rousseau, hell, you bring him in there, he can learn from Jerry Hughes, you're going to be great. You have him up there. I think they did move Lawson, but he can fill in that void, work with Ed Oliver, two really young, raw players. Your defense is going to be perfectly fine, regardless of the fact whether you have Gregory Rousseau there or not. But if he develops into the guy who we think he is, watch out, guys. Watch out. Gregory Rousseau is going to be the pick. It's too good of potential to pass up. Gregory Rousseau should be gone probably by this pick, but the edge class ain't that great. So we're going to be letting him drop a bit. Chiefs, you guys have criticized me for going interior offensive line here. Some guys who do know what they are talking about, apparently. So I'm going to maybe step off that train, but I honestly might not. Looking at it, we look at the guards. You're going to be getting back, I think, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif as well as I'm forgetting who you guys signed. Clegio Semley. So you guys have both of those, and you guys do have some 2 starting tackles. If you guys do want to get tackle here, honestly, I probably want to go the tackle route more than the guard route, especially given the fact that we've taken away most of the guards on the board that I would take here. I like taking APT here. Liam Eichenberg's on the board. You can get the successor to Mitchell Schwartz at this pick, as well, of course, as the right tackle. I'm bugging on his name. Liam Eichenberg, I mean, you see him. He loves to play in that run game. He's a beast. He's an animal. I heard he's hot and cold streaks, but if he's able to sit and learn, you guys have some big cap issues coming up, and having a young offensive lineman to be able to step up and play, that is crucial. We saw what happens when you don't have depth either. This is a team where you're pretty well built. You go Eichenberg here, and then you can get a guard center later on. You'll be fine. Eichenberg's the pick. You guys might not like that, but that's okay. Tampa, this is obviously an idea where it's like, is J.J. Watt coming here? Don't think he fits the scheme, but he could play more than 3-4 defensive end if you want him to. So, again, I'm not going to project any free agent signings at this moment. What I am going to do is going to make sure that we have that edge spot filled, because there is a lot of interior defensive line players in this class that can definitely fill this role. Jalen Phillips is a beast. He's going to monster day one. He's going to be able to help this team be able to win a Super Bowl on cheap. If you're able to bring back Ndamukong Suh, bring Jalen Phillips in, and you'll be perfectly fine. I like Jalen Phillips. He can play both as a 3-4 defensive end, as well as a 4-3 defensive end. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Hell, you could probably put him at outside linebacker if you want. But it's like, ooh, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Scratch that totally. I like Jalen Phillips here, but Azeez Ojulari is going to be fitting that Shaq Barrett role as a 3-4 outside linebacker. And that will save you guys a lot of money, because Shaq Barrett wants to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Not NFL, but like highest paid defender at his position. So we're going to get Azeez Ojulari here. Just that he's super young, Richard sophomore. I guess it kind of goes against my idea of winning now, but I think that if you give him the right mentorship, he's going to be able to play some good ball there. So I like it a lot. Azeez Ojulari is going to be a beast in the NFL. Give him some time, but this team, honestly, with how good the defense is, they have some time to develop him. So let me know what you guys think. Like, stay around. Round 2 coming out tomorrow. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.